Do you think that you could pass the test to become a citizen that immigrants have to take? Because according to the Associated Press, the U.S. citizenship test is being updated, and some immigrants and advocates worry that the changes will hurt test takers with lower levels of English proficiency. Currently, the test is 10 questions long. 10. Let me throw out one of them. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? No, I know you got it. Name one branch or part of the government. That's seriously one of the questions. And name one right or freedom from the First Amendment. There are only 100 possible questions of which they can ask, and the applicants get all 100 to study from. They get every one of them. This is like a take-home test. The Trump administration, you might recall, changed the test in 2020. It made it a little longer and more difficult. I mean, that's not that tough in the first place. And within a month of taking office, President Biden signed an executive order that was aimed at eliminating barriers to citizenship. And guess what? One of the changes was to make that citizenship go back to the easy version, back to that previous version that I just shared with you. Well, later this year, a new version is going to come out. It's been 15 years, apparently, since that easy version came out. According to the Associated Press, though, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services proposes that the new test add a speaking section to assess English skills. An officer would show photos of ordinary scenarios like daily activities, weather, or food, and ask the applicant to verbally describe the photos. In the current test, an officer evaluates speaking ability during the naturalization interview by asking personal questions the applicant has already answered in the paperwork. Because remember, having proficiency in English is part of the deal here. The AP spoke to a woman named Heaven Metra, who immigrated from Ethiopia 10 years ago, passed the naturalization test in May, and became a U.S. citizen in June. And she said this: "For me, I think it would be harder to look at pictures and explain them." Harder? I mean, what's hard? You get the questions. We're talking about citizenship in the greatest, freest nation in the world. Come on, this is not that difficult. I mean, just to be clear, of the 10 questions they get asked, they only need to get 6 right. 6. That's a 60. Come on. If this was a class, you wouldn't pass it. You get them all. You can study them all. This is not a hard thing to do. And they have to demonstrate knowledge of U.S. history and government. Now, there was a woman, her name's Sarah Goodman. She's a political scientist at the University of California, Irvine. And she said that the U.S. currently has the easiest citizenship test compared to other Western countries, including Germany, Canada, and the United Kingdom. But in the German test, she said that the applicants must answer 17 out of 33 questions correctly in order to pass. And they have a 90% pass rate, even with that. Canada and the UK tests are even harder, and a question bank is not provided in the latter. Look, more than 1 million people became US citizens in fiscal year 22. That's one of the highest numbers on record since 1907, which is the earliest year that the country kept data on this. These tests don't need to be PhD dissertations, but let's not make a mockery of becoming a US citizen. Well, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to make sure that you never miss another video.